so the weather's changed. It's now the last week of September. It is pretty chilly today. It's probably just 50 degrees this morning. But I think it's time to break out the gravel bike and start preparing for some of the gravel grinders here in Connecticut. So next month in October, there's 3 that I've signed up for, 260 miles and 170. They start they're on progressive Sundays throughout the month of October. So I figured today I get down, do a little gravel riding, do a little road riding, and just kind of get some bumps in my legs, right? But we'll see how this goes. It's a nice cool day. I think we have a great time. So today my bike of choice is the Salsa Cutthroat. I think it's perfect for these kind of combination rides where you're on the road, and then you're on some double track dirt roads, some gravel, and even some single track. I really like this bike, and it's very capable. I'll be using it for the gravel grinders, and I take it on road rides as well. It's really a lot of fun. It's very comfortable. The geometry set up just right for me. Like I said, I really enjoy this bike. Yeah, and here's some of that single track. A little bit muddy, but you know, I got some big tires on here, some 2.2s. It's a lot of fun through here. And when it's a little bit cooler like this, you have to worry about the bugs, the gnats, less of a risk with the ticks. So here near the fall in Connecticut, New England, sometimes it gets difficult to navigate the trails with all the leaves that come down. I mean, this section here is pretty well packed down. You can kind of see that, but in some of these other areas, if I turn around here, you kind of lose the trail, and plus the leaves have a tendency of blocking, you know, sticks and roots and rocks. So you got to kind of be careful. Like I said, my choice of bike today is this Cutthroat, the Salsa Cutthroat, the GRX 810. Like I said in previous videos, I really like this bike. I put the aero bars on just to kind of give me another set of hand positions on these longer rides. A lot of these 60 mile, 70 mile gravel rides, there's road sections, there's dirt sections that are pretty smooth, pretty fast, and it just gives my hands, my arms, my body another place to relax, kind of take some of the weight off the backs of my shoulders and my forearms. But yeah, this bike is really sweet. I'm really glad I got this. All right, so there's about a 3 or 4 mile loop I just finished up here on the mountain. I'm gonna head down and do some road riding now, and then maybe a little bit further on as I go across town, there's another section of gravel I can ride on. So I'll kind of do a mixed surface ride today. I'm gonna shoot for 30 miles, see how that works out. All right, so here we are on the road up in Cheshire now. These nice back roads, very quiet, not a lot of cars. I'm going to take a turn here. I'm going to go up a pretty steep hill, but there's an interesting object up here to take a look at. This hill is going to hit 20% at some point. Well, like I said, the gearing on the Cutthroat should be no trouble at all. Yeah, like I said, it's an interesting piece of history up here. So as I'm climbing this hill, and I can't video and climb at the same time, this slope right here is between 15 and 20%. But this is an old railroad crossing. It's a railroad tunnel, right, where the track went above. And you can see it kind of slopes down, pitches up, keeps going up. This is the old rail track that went from Wallingford, Cheshire, up into Waterbury. And this was active right into the early 1960s before they built the interstate. So if you worked in Waterbury and you wanted to get there, there was little train stations or little pickup spots all along the way where the train would stop, you can get on. I have a friend of mine who remembers dropping her dad off when she was a kid at one of these train stations, and we'll see one up here in a minute, and picking them up again at the end of the day. So it's a little piece of history. It's been here a long time. It's well over 100 years old, but it's kind of neat that it's still preserved, and people are walking on it. They use it as a walking trail on the top part. Now here we are, more up the top of the hill. Not quite at the very top, but about 3/4 of the way up. We're in the town of Prospect now, just before we get to Waterbury. And this is one of the stations that you could wait for the trolley. The trolley actually, the tracks I showed you, actually merge right into where this road is. And the road is where the trolley tracks would have been. And this would have been one of the stops. All right, so now I'm back in some gravel. This is part of the YMCA outdoor section. I won't be able to hold the phone going up here. So this is looking back across town at the other ridge, and that's the ridge I started the ride on, and these power lines are the same ones I crossed underneath on the other side. But this is looking across the town of Southington. This property I'm on now is part of the YMCA. Those power lines turn left and lead into the single track. This will loop around and ultimately connect to a gravel path that's well maintained for walking and hiking. This is real hard to hold the phone. I'm going to stop recording for now. So here's we come back on the gravel. This is really well maintained. It's kind of like a nature hike. And then this will, I'll take a right-hand turn up here and veer off onto the main road, and I'll take that back home. Well, that's it. Ride's over. 44 miles. Thanks for tagging along. Had a lot of fun today.